Vicarious means experienced in the imagination through the feelings or actions of another person. This presentation is to encourage you to take your own visit. Vicarious experience is the second best for the real thing. So if you ever get a chance, please do take this trip to convert the vicarious travel into a real and veritable travel of your own. Hope you will visit this place someday in the near future, and I shall wish you happy travels. It's the map of Great Britain. This is England, that is Scotland, that is Ireland. Coniston Water is located in the northern England, at the border between the Scotland and England, a place called the Lake District. As you zoom in, it will come into play. So that's Coniston Water is coming into view. That's Coniston Water. And that is the lake there. It's about 5 or 6 kilometers long lake. It starts from there, and it's beautiful, lush green all around it. The whole of Lake District is a beautiful place. And I stayed in Pendrew Dock, which is up in the north. You can see there. So that's Pendrew Dock, and that's Coniston Lake. So this trip is about 20 kilometers long. It says 31 miles. So I went to Coniston Water to cycle around it, and I rented a cycle, an electric cycle, and spent about a few hours cycling in Coniston Water. I stayed in this lovely little cottage in Pendrew Dock. It's a farmhouse converted into flats, and the decorations inside were quite rustic and just like resembling villages and sheep and things like that. It was a lovely, cozy apartment to stay in. It was a lambing season just after May, and there were lots of little ewings or lambs dotting around the area. They were really beautiful to look I spoke to John the previous day about hiring a cycle from his shop. He suggested electric bike cycling, and he was located in Coniston Water. I was in Pendrew, 30 miles away. So that's the whole purpose of the trip. So I went to collect the bike, and I didn't expect to see such beautiful garden in his house. It was really, really beautiful, and I enjoyed clicking these views. And he gave me this lovely cycle, Bosch electric cycle, which changed my life really. I stopped cycling recently. Now I bought a same cycle of my own, and I cycle everywhere nowadays. Thanks for John. John Ruskin was a philosopher. He was born in 1819 in London to a successful Scottish and sherry merchant, and his base was Coniston Waters. His own website says John Ruskin left a legacy of influence that stretches from Frank Lloyd Wright to Mahatma Gandhi. He championed many of the tenets of the welfare state and inspired the founders of the National Health Service, the formation of public libraries, the National Trust, and many other cornerstones of civil society in the last 100 years. His influence reached abroad in such areas of women's education, the minimum wage, child labor, and environmental protection, and has served both as a restraining influence on unbridled capitalism and a moral conscience for the nations of the world. So basically, he was far ahead of his time, a vanguard, and you would characterize him as a liberal Democrat of present day. A beautiful and sumptuous view of the Coniston Water Lake from Mr. Ruskin's house and his living room and his dining room. This is Mr. John, the friendly shopkeeper and the supervisor of the building. He got me my tickets, and he also took a test ride of my electric bike to see how good the cycle really is. So this is a Bosch cycle, electric cycle.
Yeah.
And he was very, very pleased with the ride. This is the back garden area of Mr. Ruskin's house, and there is a museum for local stones that have musical characteristics of in them, and you can see in the next video how musical they sound. There is a small walkabout behind the gardens up in the mountains. You can go for a stroll for about half an hour. One of the tea courts in Lake District, another shop says, you can't buy happiness, but you can buy tea. And that's kind of the same thing. And that's what I did. And I bought a cup of tea and a cake and relaxed myself then, and I left for Coniston Water Lake for cycling. Coniston Water Lake has got wonderful areas for cycling, lots of flat grounds, so you can relax and cycle about. And there are few uphill cycling, but this is a electric cycle, so I mean it helped me a lot to cycle around the Coniston Water hills, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. And anybody over 40, if they want to continue cycling, I would highly recommend buying an electric cycle, which helps you maintain your cycling while you're still pedaling. I had a great and wonderful time cycling around the beautiful landscapes around Coniston Water. Had some great photographs, and then called it a day. So while going back home, I passed through this little village called Grasmere, which is a quite picturesque village, and just like any other villages in Lake District, they're really beautiful. And if you get a time, if you get a chance, please do visit Lake District.